Buddy, I'm going to take a. This is the first time I've done this, but I'm going to basically take us through how I would start thinking about the text of a sermon. I'm planning to preach this Sunday. It is Tuesday for those who are interested. I'm starting to get into the text today, and I'll probably end up writing the sermon tomorrow on Wednesday. But I have about an hour or so now to just kind of get into the text. So this is going to be primarily for phrasing students to see how I would go about phrasing something like this. For those of you that are brand new to phrasing, once you get into the Bible Arc program, you're going to go to New Project. And once you go to New Project, you're going to put in the name you whatever name you want for the project, and then you can put your passage in. Make sure phrasing is marked, and then hit create project. Once I've gotten into my project, I've created two columns because I do want my Greek over here. So I put my ESV here and I put my Greek here. We can talk about this in class on exactly how to do this, but basically you click this button up here, go to two column rather than one column here, and then add your NA28 over here if you want the Greek. Okay, down here I want to make sure that pair columns are up so that when I move something over here on the left on English, I can move it here on the Greek as well. And that's important for me. Okay, what am I doing right now? I am just going to go through. I'm going to divide up the text. I'm going to make sure that I've got the phrases that I want to later on come back and identify. I'm also going to be doing a bit of subordinating. So I'm going to be pulling certain lines off of the main line. Okay, so we're coming in mid-conversation here in John 8:48 to 59. Jesus and the Jews are in a conversation at this point. This is the first time I'm looking at the text, so I'm not even worried about context right now. I'm just wanting to deal with the text that's in front of me, and later on I'll go back and look at context. So I see a statement, a clear statement here that Jesus is speaking, or that the Jews are speaking, and then here are quotes. Now, it's pretty clear. The Jews answering him, they said to him, and then so we have a verb of speaking, and that's clear in the Greek, even more clear than it is here, just because answered is the only verb here. But in the Greek, it's said. They answered and said, and then so that's why this is in quotes here. And so I'm just going to pull this in as a content phrase. A verb of speaking is going to have whatever they said after it, and it looks like more of what we call direct content. It was a direct phrase that they actually said, "Are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon?" There are two claims that they are making here. And so I'm going to go ahead and break those two off. Now here's Jesus answering, which I want to just separate the Jews and Jesus' speech. So Jesus answered. Okay, Jesus answered. I'm going to break there. I'm going to break here right after he answered. And I have another text here, another text content phrases. I do not have a demon. Okay, he doesn't have a demon, but what does he have? But I honor my Father. So there's the but. I honor my Father, and you, turning it back onto them now, and you dishonor me. Now, what we have here is what we call a not but phrase, or a not but collection of phrases. And I take the not and I bring it in, because the main thing that Jesus is wanting to say here is that he honors his Father. He is countering what they've said, but the main thing he's going to say is that I honor my Father. And this is going to be a coordinate phrase. It's going to stay on the same line, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. Well, what do you mean by that, Jesus? Okay, so I do not seek. I do not seek my glory, the glory of me. And then he goes on to explain what he means by that. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. So here's Jesus now continuing to speak. He has a truly here. Now, Truly, truly, I usually will separate it just with a space here because I oftentimes he's introducing a new box of speech here. And let me just check my internet. Something's happening with my internet. Um, Truly, truly, I say to you what? What is it that he wants to say? Well, I'm going to separate this out as a special box, special separate phrase. I know that we've been dealing with Jesus' speech the whole time here. We'll box this in a second. But when he says, truly, truly, I say to you, I will also indent that a little bit further. If anyone keeps my word, okay, if a certain person, the my word he keeps, okay, Greek's a little funny sometimes. Death he will not see, aston iona, unto eternity, or he will not see eternal death. And so Jesus gives that statement there. The Jews then respond, and I'm going to just mark out their text boxes here. We have no more content. Now we know that you have a demon. Abraham died, as did the prophets. So now we know that you have a demon. What do they mean by now we know you have a demon? Well, that's going to be it's going to be an explanatory phrase that's going to come in under subordinating, under why, under it's going to support their statement. Supposedly, it's going to support their statement of why they can say that Jesus has a demon. This somehow got cut, and it shouldn't have gotten cut. Abraham died, as did the prophets. Okay, I'm just going to keep that on one line. Abraham died and the prophets here in Greek. Yet you say, what does Jesus say? What are they saying? He says, yet you say, if anyone keeps my word, he will never taste death. He will never. Interesting. They changed that. Giusetai. I suppose that's a synonym for see death. But here they said you will never taste death. May or may not be significant. I'm not here yet to get into significances, significant things yet. If and then, there's an if then statement here. I always take my if and I put it in the then. This is actually including what the Jews said. So I'm actually going to bring that in. This whole thing is a text box under what they're claiming he said. So they're saying, here's what you said, and so it's a double. It's going to be indented under that. If then statement. If, okay, you don't always need a then for a then statement. Okay, the then is going to be understood here. If anyone keeps my word, he will never taste death. They continue talking. Are you? Okay, so I'm going to make a quick decision here. I think they're still talking about him having a demon and how terrible his words are here. So Abraham died, and then I'm going to keep this in the same line. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died? So are you are you not greater? Are you maid's own greater than our father Abraham? I'm not sure why that. Okay, there's something happening in the Greek I'm not 100% clear on. Who died? Who died? Okay, so that's going to be Abraham, describing Abraham who died, and the prophets died. Who do you make yourself out to be? Yeah, who do you make yourself? That's literally what the Greek says. Who do you make yourself? Who do you make of yourself, I suppose? I'm going to put this one out, and I'm going to just see this as kind of a therefore. Therefore, since Abraham died and the prophets died, therefore, and yet you're talking, as if what's the issue here? If anyone keeps my word, he will never see death. Okay, so Jesus is talking about living forever, right? Living eternally. But Abraham died. Abraham's a pretty awesome dude. In Judaism, the prophets, they were awesome, yet they died. But who? How dare you? Who do you say that you are in order to be able to say this. This is a major statement here. So we'll be focusing on this for sure in the sermon, right? Because this is what's causing all of the anger in the Jews. Okay, here's Jesus answering. I'm going to give him a space. I'm going to start his quotes here. In Greek, it's the same. Jesus answered, "If I glorify myself," oh, I see an if then, "my glory is nothing." Okay, so if I glorify myself, exact right, same word order, the glory of me is nothing. Uh, it is it is my Father, the one glorifying me. It is my Father who glorifies me, who you say, or of whom you say. You speak of whom, and you say, what? You say, he is our God. Okay, of whom you say, he is our God. And this is a haughty, which tells you that that's speech, that's direct speech. Okay, but you have not known him. I know him, but you have not known him, but I know him. Okay, so it's going to contrast those two things. If I were to say that I do not know him, I would be a liar. Okay, Jesus still speaking here. If Okay, so apo, and also if I or I, yeah, apo is if that. If I say oida, that's usually no. If I say that I do not know him, okay, if I say that I do, if I were to say, okay, that's close in the English, if I say that I don't know him, then, okay, so we're going to have an if-then statement here. I would be a liar like you. He's already called them a liar up above. He said that they were of their father, the devil. Okay, but, and I, similarly to you, would be a liar. But I know him, I do know him, and I keep his word. I keep his word, the word of him. Two things he's saying there. I want to break those out. Okay, so there's Jesus. He's going to continue to speak here. Your father, Abraham, rejoiced that he would see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Ooh, Abraham, your father. I'm going to assume that's rejoice. I don't know that vocab word. Rejoiced in order that he might see the Hemera, the day of me, and he saw it, and he there's charis there. There's rejoice. There's let's see, ekarain, ekare. That's so he. Let's see that word to rejoice. Cairo, sorry, Cairo to rejoice or to be glad. Okay, he saw it and was glad. Okay, how do the Jews respond now? So the Jews said to him, "You are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham?" Okay, so there's their logic. Okay, and have you seen, and Abraham you have seen. So let's bring this in. We got to bring these in. And Jesus responds again. Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am." There it is. There's the statement that sort of marks off this entire section. Truly, truly, I say to you. I like to give, like I said before, I like to set aside the whatever he's truly, truly saying, put that in under as a content clause or a content phrase. So they picked up stones to throw at him. So here's the final conclusion. They picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple. So therefore, they picked up stones. lethus, to throw upon him. That's interesting. But Jesus, ekrube, he hid himself and he left exalthin out of the temple. Okay, so really quick run through here just to separate all of my stuff. The next thing I'll probably do, just to very clearly be able to see all this, the Jews are going to get a yellow box. This is just how I color coordinate it. Jesus answered, the Jews said. So I'm going to take all of their speech, I'm going to box it so that I can very easily visually see what's going on here. So the Jews are going to speak down here again. Anywhere the Jews are speaking, I'm taking the actual words they're speaking. And then Jesus is going to get red. I'm unoriginal when it comes to the color, but I've gotten used to this. Oops, that's not red there. And Jesus is going to get a box here. And he's going to get a box here. All right. So what do we have? What do we have so far? We have dialogue, right? We have boxes of different colors. We have the Jews, Jesus, the Jews, Jesus, the Jews, and Jesus. So this is one of our dialogue sections that John likes to put into the middle of his gospel. He's done it in chapter 6, where there's been a big back and forth. He did it a little bit in chapter 7, and he does it a ton in chapter 8. This is a long chapter for 59 verses. 6 is really long too. And so then here's the conclusion at the end. So they picked up stones to throw at him. After all this conversation, this was the result. They picked up stones to throw. So what I want to do now is go back a little bit more, make sure that my phrasing is all done. I just did a very basic overview. Let me make sure that I've got it right. The Jews answered him, are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan? And are we not right in saying that you have a demon? So two claims there, Samaritan, then you have a demon. Jesus' response, let me throw a few arrows in here. I do not have a demon, but here's what I do have. But I do honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet, okay, here's one thing we got to do here. And you dishonor me, yet, even though, okay, so there's sort of what we call well, I suppose that's an alternate. Let me look over here. Okay, so the word yet is being used in a coordinating way in the Greek. So I'm going to leave that there in line. Now, this is something I want to identify is something called an asyndeton. It's just there's no marker on the front of those phrases right there. We'll talk about that. I'm going to argue that this is explaining what has come before it. He's explaining what it means that he doesn't seek his own glory. There is someone who seeks it, and he is the judge. Truly, truly, I say to you, if anyone keeps my word, okay, then, there's a thens here. I'm going to point the if to the then, if anyone keeps my word. And we've got a box within a box. Okay, truly, truly, I say to you. Well, let's put the truly, trulies in with a special color here. That's maybe not quite good enough. How about green? Let's put the truly, trulies in that, and Jesus is going to do truly, truly again. We'll just for the sake of being consistent. So we've got two truly, trulies, and we're going to keep them the same color. If anyone keeps my word, he will never see death. Okay, the Jews are going to respond to that statement right there. Now we know that you have a demon. Okay, I'm maybe a little out of order here, but I'm just going to remind myself that they had already said that by doing a green arrow. Green arrows show likeness or similarity in my system. Now we know that you have a demon. Why? Well, it doesn't give us a 4 here, but it definitely is an asyndeton that's going to be equal to a 4, and we'll talk about what that is as we go into class. Now we know that you have a demon. 4. Abraham died, as did the prophets, and we have a coordinating word here. Yet, you say. And so, yet you say what? Well, here's some speech that they are giving to Jesus. Sometimes I won't color it the same as Jesus' speech because they might be lying about what he says, but it's pretty close, assuming that we give the same verbs here, because they said taste death. So we are looking at some more speech here that they're claiming Jesus made. Are you greater than our father Abraham who died and the prophets died? Therefore, okay, so let's give one more ascendaton here. Therefore, who do you make yourself out to be? So we're going to say, this is their argument here. Are you claiming to be greater than the ones who died? Abraham. Who died? Abraham died. That's going to be a blue because it's a relative pronoun. And Jesus is going to respond to this now. There's an if then statement here that I missed. If I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me. Let's pull that in. It's going to be an explanation of him not glorifying himself, which is kind of what he's saying right here. It is my Father who glorifies me, of whom you say of whom, you say of the Father. What do you say? He is our God. Well, Jesus is giving them words here. So let's go ahead and just make sure we color it with the Jews' color here. Okay. Of whom you say he is our God. And then we're going to put of whom is going to be the Father. We're going to identify these things. But you say that, but you do not know him. Now I'm going to bring the but down to the level of the Father, where he's talking about the Father here. But you have not known him. But it's in the Greek, it's not in the English, but I know him. If I were to say that I do not know him, I would be a liar. Okay, so not only does he know him, he would never say that he does not know him. That is, for Jesus to say, I don't know the Father, is a lie. And I'm going to call that explanation. That's coming off of the I know him. But I do know him. But instead of being a liar, I'm going to tell you the truth. I do know him. And what else do? I keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Trying to figure out where this goes. He rejoiced to see my day. He saw it and was glad. I could leave it here as something sort of he's saying that, hey, I don't glorify myself, but here's my second argument. Here's number two here. Your father Abraham rejoiced. Sure. I'm going to leave it there for now. Some of this is art, guys. This is not always science. So I'm going to leave it there. So the Jews said to him, okay, this is a big problem they have. You are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? Okay, so that their argument is that you couldn't possibly have lived during the time that Abraham lived. Jesus said to them, here it is. Here's the main purchase here. Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. Now, they've already heard this statement, okay? And so later on, I'll come back and make sure I identify with the verse where they had said that he had said this before. Now they know what he's actually saying. Now they get the full picture of what Jesus is trying to communicate. And what's their response? So they picked up stones to throw at him. But Jesus, and I don't know if this was miraculous or if this was Jesus just being very crafty, Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple. Okay, a couple more arrows I want to give here. I want to make sure all these boxes have arrows. Okay, so What have we done so far? We've separated the text, we've subordinated the text, and we've done arrows, at least for most of these. Some of these I didn't do. It looks like he's explaining there. And so, yeah, yeah. So he basically, we're going to do arrows here. Basically, this is a dialogue, and so dialogues don't always have these everywhere stuff is coming off of the line a ton. You usually stay on the line a lot when it's back and forth because we're essentially giving Jesus and the Jews, whenever they said, we're putting that on the left line. So Jews say something, Jesus answers them. The Jews say something, Jesus answers them. The Jews say something, and Jesus says to them, and this is the final statement here that just causes them to want to kill him. So this is my initial pass. This is not the full study of the passage. This is just me getting into the text and trying to get something that I can work with for my sermon prep. So hope this was helpful to you guys. We're going to talk about a lot of these things in class. I'm not trying to teach as I go through this. I'm just trying to show you how I do it. So give this a study, give it a look, and hopefully you can maybe follow along with the text, and then you can see it preached on Sunday, and you can see whether or not I hit the final product, whether I hit the mark or not. Okay, but I'm going to send this your guys' way, and I hope it's helpful to you.